Joe Harris is here. Hey, Joe.
Hey. I'm always looking down at my phone whenever you start. Last time I was doing it too, I was watching myself from home.
Oh, man. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, 2021.
Yeah. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome to Sober Talk. You're here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious. Whatever the reason may be, I'm glad you're here. So how do you know if you have a drinking problem? It's real easy if it causes problems. I have quit drinking many times. You hear me say it every show. 3 months, 6 months, a year. I even went 2 years once, and I always go back out. I'm like, hey, I got it. I'm cured. I'm cured. And we drank to self-medicate.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of that from you. And we have James Sweezy with us. And what happens is we stop drinking. We drink to deal with the problems, but the problems are still there, although you stop drinking. So you got to figure out what made you drink in the first place. Is that accurate, you think?
It is. And also, I forget the pain of a week or a month ago. I stop drinking on my own, go through a detox, whatever that looks like, and I forget the pain that drove me to stop in the first place. So quitting drinking is a great reason to celebrate and have a drink. It really is for me.
So quitting, it's like people who went 30 days. Let's celebrate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I did that for years.
Yeah.
I used to be so happy that I made it. Tommy went 2 weeks no drinking. All
Yeah.
my buddies out in Bullitt County. Tommy went 2 weeks, and they really freaked out when I went 2 years. So welcome to Sober Talk Live. This is New Year's Day. We have a lot of people out here and watching and listening who are making some resolutions, and we actually got one of your a surprise celebrity friends
That's right.
of yours coming on.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln will be here live with us.
Yeah. So I have a friend that I was telling you the story about it outside.
Yeah.
I was fishing through my inbox, and I had some followers at the time, and it turns out this guy's been on Discovery Channel for the past.
You thought it was something. You were like, why is this guy sending me pictures of the show?
Yeah, he was sending me pictures of a guy holding up a big crab, a big king crab, and he's saying, hey, man, I love what you got to say. I'd like to talk sometime. And I said, sure, man, I'm busy, but maybe we'll catch up. And then he sent me the picture of the crab, and I was like, this guy's got to be high.
Yeah, then you sent him a picture of Charlie Sheen. So,
but
it turned out to be that was him in the picture.
Yeah, it's Matt Bradley. So for a long time, he was the deck boss over at the Northwestern on Captain Sig's boat. And then he's over at the Saga now.
That's Matt Bradley.
That's Matt Bradley. There's
Yeah.
my buddy right there. Matt Bradley, and then his beautiful wife, Angela Shook. They're not together right now.
She sounds hot.
She's in Washington. I think Angela's at their house. And then Matt is actually in Dutch Harbor, Alaska right now. And he texted me before the show and said, hey, what are you doing? I was like, airtime, give me a call. So whenever I know you got some other people lined up.
No, really, just you.
Yeah, that's it. It's just
We're
me.
calling Matt right now. No, I'm kidding. Actually, it's a show of Matt because your name's Matt, and I'm sorry, you're James. But you're Matt, and then I got a guest named Matt. Golly, I'm on drugs because you're Matt,
dude. I gotta just point out the viewer count from what I've seen when I was on the show, and then the couple shows before that, you're quadrupling.
Yeah,
every time. This is amazing.
It's Friday. I did an impromptu show last night, and it wasn't pretty as far as viewers.
No,
it's like 4 people.
Oh well.
No, it's 40 or something like that. But
I thought I saw a couple hundred. Maybe that was
initially,
couple shows
we
ago.
always start out initially. It hits hard. But you'll watch it, and then we'll settle in. A lot. I cross-post this to my comedy pages.
Oh, okay.
And people think it's a prank coming up, and they go, "Oh."
Then they realize I'm not funny, and they leave.
And they go, "Oh, see, you're the reason why the retention is so bad."
Yeah, I know it's nosediving.
But let's see. David Vernazzi saying hi. Tina Labati's here. Laura, Kat. Here's a Pep. Matt Bradley. Woohoo!
Is Matt in there?
No.
It's, a fan of Matt.
Yeah,
Bradley.
love Deadliest Catch says. But I do want to call this other Matt. So, how was your New Year's? Did you guys get crazy, or what do you do when you were sober? I called my buddy who just got out of jail. He went to a sober AA party.
Yeah. I've been to those. Typically, Elena and I, we don't make it to see the ball drop. We're sober. New Year's, it kind of becomes a day to hang out with family, with the
Hmm.
kids. And last night we got crazy. We went to a restaurant at 8:30 p.m. and we were
Dude.
done by like 9 and went home and went to bed. For just full out craziness. We just wanted to go somewhere with some friends of ours on New Year's to say we went somewhere.
It's funny because you called me and said, "Hey, we're gonna be at the place down the road. You want to swing by?" And then my other buddy, he's been sober for probably about 15 days now.
Yeah.
He's on the show, CJ. He called. He said, "We're at the same place. Come, won't you run down?" I
Yeah,
said,
yeah. No, he actually he messaged me and said, "Hey, I must have just missed you."
"Yeah."
We went at the same time. So,
Mm.
how are you feeling?
I told you earlier I had a case of the blues a little bit, and I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. I'll tell you off the air. Just some stuff in my world. We're all getting older, and things start happening to us.
Yeah.
And two people in my world are going through are struggling right now, and it's very sad. And I'm just now maybe that's what it is. That's 2 days that people are going through similar situations that are very challenging
Yeah.
for them. And I just get blue. The weather is dark by 3 in the afternoon here now. It's So what you were in Alaska? Well, you went up while they were filming that show. He's a friend, so you've been up to Alaska a couple 3 times.
Yeah.
Have you been there when it's like dark all the time?
No, no,
Okay.
it was about normal, I guess. If you want to call anything in Dutch Harbor, Alaska, normal, it was that it was dark at night and it was light during the day. I have not been there when it was just one. It stayed dark for 6 months, anything like that. And Dutch Harbor is like you fly into Anchorage,
Hmm.
and then you get on a puddle jumper, the
Yeah.
little plane with the twin
They're
prop.
all over the place up there, aren't they?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then you fly out to the Aleutian Islands, that kind of little tail that comes off Alaska like that.
Mhm.
You fly out to the Aleutian Islands. Now here's the hit. I'm not scared of planes, but for people that are, they tell you something. They're like, we might not make it, so we might have to turn around and come back and fuel up again if we don't make it to the island because we're trying to go around weather and things of that nature. So,
Wow.
because the biggest question you ask is, how long is this flight right here before we land? They say,
Right.
well, 3 hours, but we might not make it. And when they make that statement, what do you mean? So they might have to swing back around, get gas, and go try again. Now, luckily, both times I went through, we made it. You know,
Yeah, I flew in. I guess Anchorage. Is that the capital?
yeah,
Flew in. I remember they had a couple big
or
stuffed grizzly bears in the airport. I had a show there, a big giant corporate show there, and
yeah, I know those bears in the airport inside the glass.
yeah, the white,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
the polar bears, and they
Pass
say
that.
the polar bears will stock the houses up there, and they're like, and when it's snowing, they blend in with the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
They
crazy.
but yeah, he sent me that message on Facebook, and I was wondering, I was like, why is this guy sending me pictures of the Deadliest Catch show? It said Discovery Channel at the bottom, and then it wasn't until like a couple months later that I realized it was him. I went and
Mhm.
looked at his page. I was like, this is this guy. I get on the phone with him, and he says, man, we should hang out sometime.
Well,
And
should we? Okay, and so what happened after that?
oh, so we should hang out sometime. And I was like, well, where in Alaska? He said, if you want to, come on up. And, it's kind of weird. You
Mhm.
think it's like this closed off thing. It's not. Anybody can go to Dutch Harbor, Alaska.
Yeah,
And we flew into Dutch Harbor. It's weird. There's no trees in the Aleutian Islands at all. These islands are covered. No
they're
trees.
illegal.
No, right.
They're illegal.
That not that kind of tree. Um,
Why no trees?
I don't know. I didn't even ask. But there's
They
no
cut them
trees.
all down, or the loggers cut them down.
Yeah.
Should we call him?
We can call Matt.
Yeah,
Y'all want to?
Yeah. Want you? Well, are you connected to my board? You want
I'm
to
not.
text me his number, and I'll just hit it and
Yeah.
just
sure.
share the contact. I'm gonna prank call this guy all the time. Hey man,
Matt Bradley would love it if you prank called him.
that's great.
But yeah, we went up. We've gone twice, and they actually took us out on the. They took us out on the boats in the Bering Sea. We didn't go out where they go crab fishing, where it got all crazy, but we did get to go out on the boat.
Yeah.
Let's see that one right there. Do you want to type it in or no?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
1-800.
You want? Let's see here. 313. Okay. Uh. Okay.
Oh, dead air.
Is that it?
That gives me anxiety. Let me see. Does dead air give you anxiety
No, I
like
don't
it
care.
did me right then? Don't care. Okay.
No, dude. We have so much. I'll let you talk first and say who it is.
Sure.
This number I'm supposed to be calling.
You guys got me? That one.
Matt Bradley. Hey, you're with hey, it's Sweezy. I'm here with Tom Mabe.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Well,
So go ahead. So Matt, anyway, I was just sitting here talking to Tom. He thought it was a really cool idea to give you a call and talk about
Yes,
how we
sir.
met, and Matt's up there right now. He's actually working on the Saga, which is a really big boat up there. You're still on the Saga, correct, Matt?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Jake Anderson.
We're just up here getting ready for this upcoming Opelio season with Captain Jake.
Yeah, for all you normal people, a Pelio is snow crab.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
and a lot of people at home are thinking, why do they have this guy Matt Bradley on the show? And you were saying that Matt is
He
you're
catches a lot of crab and it's delicious. He's a
see,
great
and that's
person to
that's
know.
where I was going. But you're he's sober, right?
Yeah,
Matt,
Matt
you're
is clean and
Yes,
serene.
sir.
oh, that's awesome.
7 years, 3 months, 28 days, and 37 seconds.
My
What
man.
what finally made you to say, hey, I'm getting clean?
You know, like, how do I say this in a short amount of time? I've been a commercial fisherman for about 30 years, and it's a drug addict's dream because you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. And I would come up here, I would get 2-3 months of not really sober. I'd still be drinking, but off the drugs. And then I'd come home and run rampant for months at a time. And somewhere in the middle of all that, like all the guys on the boat are like, we'd come back up and one of them be like, oh, I just bought my second house and bought a boat. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. I was with a Russian hooker for 10 days and I had a good
sounds
time
hot.
at home too, you know.
So you were
And,
blowing
like,
you were
it was
wasting your
kinda-
money. You were wasting your money on drugs and hookers. And,
Yeah, yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
So tell Matt,
And so like that lifestyle just kind of got old, Like,
Sure.
all of a sudden I get brief moments of sobriety. I try to stay clean at home, attending to meetings, and I started seeing, well, if I just stayed clean, I might be able to reap some of the rewards,
now Matt, was it you
They
or
come back to the boat and go ahead. Nick.
no? It's all good. Was it you
Go ahead,
or I think it was you or Landon or somebody was telling me about flying up to Dutch. I was trying to tell Tom about it outside, and you fly in dope sick, and then you have to stay awake for 5 days working.
Wow.
Wasn't that you?
Yeah. Yeah, I probably kicked heroin 5 different times up here, like completely cold turkey do that last
Jeez.
fix in Seattle and come up here and straight off the plane into rubber boots, into the pot yard, onto the boat, pots on, and leave to go fishing. Put some bait and some groceries on, and then try to tell the guys, "Oh, I'll be fine," puking my guts out and literally dope sick, just saying, "Oh, I'm just seasick,"
Wow.
Like Captain, it'd be like, "That guy, why is that guy always seasick for all these years?"
You think he would get used to
Probably not too sick.
it? What a wuss! What a
Pretty
wuss
sure
Matt is. Can Matt handle this? That's awesome.
Pretty sure he's dope sick, Cap.
Oh, that's so. So here we are. If people are watching, we got Matt Bradley on the phone, and you on a hit TV show, and all your buddies and such were buying new homes and fancy this and fancy that, and you didn't have a lot to show for it. You were wasting your money on Russian hookers and drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. And 7 years. So go ahead.
Go ahead. And it got to a point where, like, being sick and tired,
Mhm.
I'd come home, go to jail for a few days, maybe a couple of months, miss a season, and there was just a point of where, like, wow, maybe there is a better way of life, and I had brief moments of sobriety, with regular meeting attendance and a 12-step sponsor, but I could never, at that point in my life, I never stayed clean long enough to reap the benefits, and like today that's, we're almost 8 years into this run, and, life looks a lot different, man. It's not just about the fishing. I own a bunch of businesses and life's pretty good, man. Like I stayed clean long enough to to achieve life, I guess.
Nah,
Kind of like
it.
no going back now.
Matt,
You know,
sometimes
I go back today.
oh, go ahead.
You know, like I think today, if I were to go back out, everything I own is worth about $40, and I'm not really willing to give it up today.
You, Matt, at one point you were telling, I remember you either got arrested on the show or while they were filming the show, you had to go, yeah, you had to go do something. Didn't you get, was it handcuffs
Yeah,
actually
I
on the show or?
no, one of the other guys did get hemmed up on the show, but no, I had warrants and a court date back home to get home to, and I didn't tell Sig until we were on that last trip, and I literally had to go upstairs and tell him, like, hey, man, if I don't make it home for this court date, the prosecuting attorney is going to make sure I sit in prison for a year and some change. If I make the court date, I'll probably get 30, 40 days. But if I miss it, somewhere in the next 6-8 months, I'm going down for sure. And so Sig's like, why do you got to tell me this now? Get out of my wheelhouse. He still managed to get me to the airport. I missed 2 flights due to weather. Finally got on that 3rd flight on the 3rd day. Flew home, landed, spent the night with my wife. She took me to court in the morning, and I went straight into custody from there. And the judge was like, you sure you don't want a couple of days? I was like, I do. Given my track record, probably even sober, a good idea to incarcerate me right now. That's the last time I had to go into any kind of institution of that nature.
So, you know, I'm, of course I know Matt very well, but I'm going to ask these questions anyway. I'm thinking in my head, right? You're on it was the #1 show.
Still is.
Yeah, still is, right? 17 years, I believe you've been on the show, Matt. Making really
17 years, cable networks, #1 watch most show.
wow.
And you're right.
Pretty
So that
crazy.
level of success, right? And obviously highly skilled fisherman, makes plenty of money. Got I know Angela, your beautiful wife, and also going through the problems of being dope sick on the boat, throwing up, going to court dates, having warrants. Why was all of that not enough to stop? Like that you couldn't stop because of the success, all this wonderful success, and couldn't stop because you're puking your guts out over the rail and being hauled off to court or to jail whenever you come back. Why wasn't any of it enough to stop? Do you know?
At that point in my life, you know, this is before my wife, there wasn't ever a major consequence. And even if there was, it was all about me. My ego was there, very ego driven. My wife will pop that like a balloon real easy these days. But I didn't have any repercussions. You know, once I met my wife, I met her in the rooms. We did what any 2 good addicts would do on our second date. I moved in, you know, but, you know, but by that second date, she had me, and she was going to help me get past that 30-day mark, you know. But once I got together with her, you know, she was 5 years clean at the time. When I did relapse with her multiple times, there was a repercussion, and one of them was she filled my car full of my clothes and shoes and everything I had in the house and said, we're done. You can't stay clean. You can't be with me. And it was one of the first times in my life that somebody like literally put their foot down and said, you can't have me if you choose drugs. And I wanted her more than I wanted the dope.
Well, a lot of times
You know?
people don't realize
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, a lot of times, you know, for years and years, I hate to say this, but I loved the alcohol more than my wife and kids.
It became more important.
It did, and it took an ultimatum for me to, you know, I snapped into shape several times. I quit, Matt, you know, so many times, as we all have. Now, your wife, is she? You said you met her, and is she in recovery as well, right? Am I?
Yeah, she has a different clean. She's coming up on 10 years
Wow.
on this one, and that's that's a whole nother story of her life. I mean,
We're gonna have her. We'll have her on tomorrow. We'll have her on tomorrow night.
There you go. There you go.
That's awesome.
Do you think Angela would come on one night?
She had 9.5 years clean at one point, and
Wow.
I had relapsed, and she chose to follow me out in the trenches after about 4 months of me breaking my life. You know.
Yeah.
That was the last catalyst of my active addiction, was using with somebody who I'd never used with. And I swear to God, there's nothing more painful in this lifetime than putting poison in my wife's arm. That was like I never seen that coming. You know, that was, you know, of all the things in my active addiction that I could ever regret, that would have been the one. Making a choice for myself, because it's a choice to go back out, and then to have her follow me out in the trenches was it was painful. We got loaded together for 4 months, and she went to treatment. I went back up here to CHAB, and
CHAB.
there's a little more to the story than that.
Is that rehab? CHAB? I love that.
CHAB, same thing.
Oh, wow.
That's where you come up here and do the spin dry, detox on the boat while pulling pots, and you go back and think everything's going to be normal because you got
Yeah,
you got
when you
nothing,
get the check,
you know?
everything's going to be good now. As soon as I get paid after this season.
Yeah.
So how do you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to
But, you
interrupt. I'm so excited here. This is so
You're
seven,
right.
7.5 years. What is it that constantly reminds you? I mean, you're in some kind of structured. I guess you mentioned 12 steps and a sponsor. And if you gave up the sponsor and your meetings and such, you think you would still be sober? Or do you think that's a big part of your sobriety right now to date?
I would still be sober. I'd be miserable. Without my connection to a 12-step program, my sponsorship tree, the men that are in my life today, there's no way you'd stay stagnant. I'd be miserable.
Wow.
Or the people around me would be miserable.
And it doesn't even
I'd
have to be in
probably
your.
let ego come back.
It doesn't even have to be in your sponsorship tree, right? Like Matt will call me from the boat. I'll call Matt. But you know, we don't have a common sponsor or common sponsee brothers or anything like that. It's a support group. It's exactly what you're doing on Sober Talk.
Sober Talk community. We got some of the regulars that we depend on each other.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's very cool.
So do you gotta get to
No,
your?
I'm good. You keep on asking.
Yeah,
Keep on asking.
It's all good. So Matt, we flew up and we go out here, Tom. I'm telling Tom right now, Matt, it's not a question. But we flew up there. We go out. We hang out the first year.
Mm-hmm.
The second year we came back, they have a nickname for us in Dutch Harbor. They called it the Sober Crew.
Okay.
And these little bars that you've probably seen on TV if you watch the show. What was the bar, Matt? The real rowdy one. You don't even like going to it.
The rat,
The rat.
which used to be the real rowdy one, was Playboy magazine. I think it was 80 something, named it the most rowdiest bar in America, and that was the Elbow Room,
Yeah.
which is for the younger generation, the Norwegian rat.
The Norwegian rat. Yeah, we went up there. And of course,
Yep.
that's the first place we walked into. If you want something to eat, there's not too many more choices. So we went into the Norwegian rat, and Matt did not want to go in there. He liked to hang out at a pizza place around the way.
Yeah.
And they started calling us the Sober Crew. And on the second year, Tom, it started with Matt and I and one other guy, maybe two. And the second year, there was a whole table in this back restaurant of people that work on these boats, either sober or trying to get sober, and just said, we're just going to go hang out with them. Took up the whole back of the restaurant, the Sober Crew.
Nice.
It was pretty cool.
I did a show in.
It's crazy when you guys came up here like that. Like, now, mind you, you give it 15 years. The last 15 years, I haven't stayed sober the whole time, but I've been in recovery the whole time. I've
Gotcha.
bounced in and out a few times, and like you guys coming up here that time, like you go to a 12-step meeting up here, and you might be lucky to catch 2 or 3 of us in there. And because of COVID, we got no in-person meetings right now anywhere in the state I'm in, or even here in the state of Alaska. But you guys being up here, I remember we were having a meeting on the boat, and I was like, this is the most surreal thing I've ever had happen up here. We got eight people And then the guys came back from the bar, and they're like, "Oh God, do you want us to leave?" They all had a beer in
Oh,
their
they
hand.
came
"Do
in
not want us to
wasted and
drink."
loud.
We're like, "No, by all means, by all means, drink your beer." And why
Yeah, we
why
had
would
a,
today be any different for you knuckleheads?
We had a 8-person sobriety meeting in the galley of the Northwestern on the Bering Sea.
Wow.
12-step recovery meeting.
You know, two things I want to say. Christmas morning, my sister's house. We it was just me, my kids, and wife, and her. And my sister's. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I left the bourbon balls out. She's grabbing the bourbon balls
From you.
No, not from me. From the table. Like,
Oh.
she's trying to hide them. Like I can't. People act when you don't drink anymore. They think that you're going to be tempted by a daggone bourbon ball. I thought that was hilarious when you talk about the people coming in from going into the AA meeting there in the
Yeah.
boat. But when I had a show, I did a show. One thing, and you guys can. I got a question about Alaska. I did a show in Alaska. Flew into Anchorage. And is there in Kingston or something or whatever? I don't know the town. It's right there. It wasn't too far from the airport. Puddle jumpers everywhere. And my handler who picked me up, the first thing she's like, "You want to go drink?" And it was like midday,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just and the bars were, I mean, for like 2 or 3 days, all we did was drink.
Yeah.
Is that a big drinking state or something?
There's some amazing recovery in this state, but I know I was watching the beginning of the show with you two guys, and you were asking about, James, were you up there when it's dark? Were you up there when it's light? Well, the summertime, you get 2 hours of darkness, and then the rest of the year, it's still light now. It's pretty early yet, but it gets dark and it's cold, and there's not a lot to do, So I don't know what the statistics say, but I'm sure that alcoholism in its entirety is pretty rampant up here. I know it is. And you give the commercial fishing industry aspect of this, don't want to speak for the whole fleet, but, it's most guys work and play as hard as they work, if not play harder than you actually work, There is a lot of alcoholism up here, and there's also some great recovery up here.
That's great.
Tom brings up a good
both
point.
sides of it.
Tom brings up a good point about the bourbon balls. Like, I didn't mean they were taking them from you, but they were trying to hide them from you, like protect you, like it was going to bother you or something, right?
Yeah. And I told you the other night we were looking at a piece of property and we were meeting the realtor, and her daughter was at this Mexican restaurant, and she said, "Hey, I got a picture of margaritas." And she said, "No,
Don't show Tom.
Don't
right.
show Tom. He will relapse." I'm like, I'm in a bar.
Well,
I'm not gonna
people seem to think that having beer in the fridge, right? Like at Thanksgiving, when my family comes over, there's beer stocked in the fridge. They can drink and act normal, but not everybody drinks a Budweiser and smokes crack. But they can, and people think that it's going to remind.
Where I came from, James, that was normal.
Yeah. But people think it's going to remind us of drinking, and people ask me all the time, like, "Oh, does walking into a restaurant and being by a bar, does that remind you of drinking, or does that bother you?" And I'm like, you know what reminds me of drinking? Driving.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, Monday. Or driving a car. That reminds me of drinking.
Anything.
So, yeah. The whole thing.
But you used to.
I know my early recovery definitely had my guard up. I didn't spend too much time in bars and around people that were using, but we're almost 10 years of on and off recovery and safe, solid years. It takes to trigger me. It really does. Being around people drinking doesn't bug me too much. I do a lot of.
They're just annoying.
Well, before COVID, did a lot of in-person, guest appearance here at a hunting fishing show or something, and anytime you're doing something, it 90% of the time it revolves around alcohol, and it just doesn't bug me until about 11, 12, 30, when people start getting stupid and start repeating their questions, and I'm like, Uber time.
Right, yeah.
Time to go back to my hotel. I've done enough. I've done my part. This is what I was paid here for. I'm out.
It was James and I went to Cincinnati, right outside. I guess it was Loudon, a place called the Burkus. It's like circus with a B, and it was a brewery.
Yeah.
And somehow it got out really quick that we were non-drinkers.
Yeah, it did.
It did. It got. And they were like,
They
"Hey,
came
you,
to the table and offered us ginger ale,
ginger." That's right.
and it was amazing.
It was the most
by the way.
amazing. Yeah, we brought some home.
We did. It was
was
house-made ginger ale.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you, brother. I love you, man. But Tom,
Yes, sir.
Matt and I's friendship, our brotherhood, just goes to show you what this platform that we have, little social media, you can
Yeah.
go live and talk to people. That's Matt vaping, by the way. If
Yeah,
you've been hearing
yeah.
that.
I'm trying to grab the
Matt owns a
bottle.
chain of vape stores.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But it just goes to show you, like they say, the opposite of addiction is connection. And from Dutch Harbor, Alaska, all the way right here to Little Louisville, Kentucky,
Jefferson
got-
Town, the entertainment
J-Town,
capital of the
yeah.
world, J-Town.
I got connected with. So Matt, I love you, brother, and I really appreciate you being on tonight. We're gonna
Love
call
you,
you and
James.
harass you another night and get Angela on here so she can tell her. She can tell the
There
truth.
you go.
Yeah, we'll get the truth from her.
And get about March or something when I get home and we can do a video. I'm sure the two of us would be happy to do a Jack and Jill on the show there, Tom.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Now you're out at sea now on a boat.
Correct.
I'm at the dock right now. We've got
Sure.
about 40 more crab pots to rig, and then we'll go out and set some pots, and then come back, grab some more pots, make a little television here in town, and then our crab season will officially start. And I'll catch and make season 17 of Deadliest Catch the final episodes of
So
season 17.
is fishing
all.
is fishing your career or is TV your career or is it both?
Fishing.
Okay.
Fishing is definitely my career, but like James was saying, I co-own 5 vapor stores, a vapor distribution, so I'm pretty heavily involved in the
Matt sent me this.
industry as well. Yeah.
Very, very
I just
cool.
showed them the mod you sent me, Matt. I have one with me.
Oh,
But, Matt
I
Matt sent me this.
had
He
to
was
turn
like,
you guys off because I'm paying for internet.
Oh, okay.
God knows how much a gig. I shut that video part off.
That's all right.
Well, guys, if you're just joining it, we had Matt Bradley on the show, and he's
He's in Dutch Harbor, Alaska right now aboard the Saga. If you recognize that big boat on, it's one of the bigger ones. And Captain Jake Anderson aboard the Saga. He's also a recovery guy himself. So they got a good thing going over there.
Yeah.
Well, that man, I tell you, it's
The
an
whole
honor
crew
to
is
have you
sober
on.
on that boat.
The whole crew is sober. Hey, have there been any major accidents on a boat due to alcohol or drugs?
Yeah, there's a lot of the bigger companies are on the strict no for the time your contract is up. We've lost quite a few guys falling between the boats. That was a big one a few years back.
Oh,
One of the
wow.
guys fell, hit his head, and drowned at the dock. And
Oh.
they say this is the most dangerous job in the world. Yeah, what a crummy place to go out, And then I hate to say it, but it's a direct result, right, of addiction at its finest. Just thinking we're just having a couple, and you never see that one coming. But I mean, sometimes we tie up 5 boats deep, so you got to cross over 4 and 5 boats just to get to yours. And
It's like Party Cove.
that was
Yeah, but drunk on
a
ice.
little
and then-
different though when the boat's like when you're climbing up a stack of crab pots at
Right,
20
no.
feet off the deck, and then
Gotcha.
maybe crawl back down and back up another one just to get on and off another boat. It's heck sober. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, man, thank you so much for being on. This has been great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right,
You're
Matt,
welcome.
We'll
You
catch
guys
up.
enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah,
Have
we'll
a good
catch
night.
up soon, brother, and we'll get Angela and you back on at some point. Love you, man.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Love you too, brother.
See you, Matt. That was Matt Bradley and the show is Deadliest Catch, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Deadliest Catch out in
cool.
there's Dutch Harbor, Alaska, right there. That's my business partner Justin. I got some other. There's the crab pots he's talking about.
Yeah,
and
I've seen those. I've seen those on TV, definitely.
Dude, like, okay, whenever you're actually there, I've got a video. They let us load one. They let us operate the crane and load one of the crab pots on. Right? Okay, these things will crush your entire body. On TV, they make it look easy. The boat was sitting docked. It wasn't moving.
Mhm.
And I climbed up the stack, and you have to walk across them to get off, and I almost fell between the boats, stone cold sober. So you can imagine doing that at night on ice. Unbelievable.
Wow.
But we don't
Wow.
have to live like that anymore. You get to make a choice today.
So let's read some of the comments that we have here. Let's see here. Kenny Rice, left alone with boozes and tempting for me. Kenny Rice is left alone with boozes is tempting for me. I don't know what's going on here. Uh, Natalie Jansen wants to ask him about Nick McGlashan, a deck boss that died on December 27th at 33 years of age that decided to help people in recovery.
Yeah, so I intentionally, it's okay that she asked. I intentionally didn't bring that up because that is so new right now, and his family has been public about it or whatever, but the guys are dealing with that right now up there. So uh, I just kind of intentionally stayed away from it, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
give it a little time. Let the
Gotcha.
family do their thing.
Okay,
you
I
know.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know
That's all right.
what was
No,
going
no
on.
problem. He's a very popular guy, and we're gonna miss him. For sure.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Sweezy Live. Oh lordy, now we are all in trouble. That's Warren Honecker.
Warren, my
Okay,
brother. I
and-
see Michael Leth in there. Brian Kendrick from Brian Kendrick Live is in the house. That's our alumni director.
Oh, Brian. We'll have Brian
Kendrick.
on.
Yeah, from Brian Kendrick Live
Is
in
he
there.
is he in recovery as well?
Yeah, Brian. So that is Pastor Brian to the folks, and there's Jessica Montanez right there from Jersey. But Brian is the alumni director of our company for all the clients that people we treat. So he's up in Columbus, almost to Indianapolis, and he comes down here once a week. So you're gonna have to meet him. And
Gotcha.
another fantastic guest to have on right there, Brian Kendrick. If
Gotcha.
you want to get
Here,
somebody
here's
over there.
here's this pretty lady from Australia. Just there's a show called The Real Drunk Housewives of Australia, and she cracks me up. Somehow we've communicated back and forth, and she's saying, "Good day, guys. Hi, Tom. A great guest. Happy New Year, everyone." She's a cool chick. She's not in recovery.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute, that's a page or that's actually a show?
It's an actual show, but she's
Oh,
like one of the
okay.
guests on it. She's one.
Okay.
Most of us who stay sober have some kind of recovery family. That's Chris Money. Yep. Danny Holland booze cost me a couple of good women, my nightclub, and almost my life. I denied it for years, still deny it some days. I mean, it can cost you, right? Booze can
It's one alcoholism. I said it. I commented the other night on your show.
mm-hmm.
Alcoholism is 100% fatal left untreated.
Yes.
It will
Yes, it
take
is.
you out.
I want to apologize right now to everybody about my hair. I'm having a bad hair day. I mean, it's better than a no hair day.
I was going to apologize behind you.
It really,
My bad.
I need product. All right, we're gonna call. We got another guy, another Matt that we're gonna. Last night I said if you want to be on the show, email me sobertalklive@gmail.com. That's sobertalklive@gmail.com, and
Change your name to Matt.
change your name to Matt, and
Then you can
we
be
will
on.
have you on. Tom, check your text messages again. Oh, geez, 23. What's this here? Too amazing to.
I saw that last night. Somebody
Oh.
commented that last night. Check your text messages.
Let's see here. Let's see. This is Daryl. Oh yeah, this is yeah,
gonna
Daryl.
go
Thank
with
you. That I saw that. Thank you so much.
I want to say hi to David Wise, Brian Pinkelman, Christy Roberts Muncie, Jessica Montanez, Michael Les, Stephen McElroy, Elizabeth Riggs Pace. Thank you guys for. I know all those people, so I'm shouting out the names. Thank you all for stopping by and being with us tonight.
So here we go. We are going to call voice call, and it's this is another Matt, and I don't know. I have no idea about this guy. I know he lives in South Dakota.
Hello.
Hey, is this Matt in South Dakota?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you got Tom and James here. You're live on Sober Talk, and you sent me an email. Last night I said, hey, if anyone wants to talk on the show, send me an email to sobertalklive@gmail.com. And you sent me an email. So tell me the story. Are you sober? You want to get sober? What's your deal, brother?
Well, I've been sober almost a month now.
Oh, congrats.
Congratulations.
I got picked up for a DUI about a month ago, and I'm only 23 years old, so I've been kind of learning from that, and just decided to change my life around after getting that, and been sober from drugs and alcohol for about a month now. So
What do you know, James? You work in recovery. What you've seen this a lot, right? Someone
Yeah.
get a
Yeah, I did that, and of course Matt on the phone. This is James. Pleasure to meet you. And I'm not talking about Matt here. Let me keep it clear. I'm keeping it on me, right?
Uh huh.
When I would get a DUI or court costs or whatever that looks like, family matter, I always quit for a period of time. I call it consequence reduction, right?
Okay.
I had consequences and I needed to reduce them. So I would fall into line over a period of many years. How severely were you drinking or using prior to your DUI?
How much?
How severely? Like, I mean, I can stay awake for 3 or 4 days at a time.
I was going on benders for about 5 days on coke, and then I was drinking probably about a 12-pack a night. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah. It sounds like what, a Monday?
Yeah,
Again?
yeah.
A lot of Mondays going on here.
So what's your plan? So are you, what did you call it? Consequence reduction?
Yeah, consequence reduction,
that.
right? Like, Matt and Tom,
Yeah.
we all find a way to straighten up when our rear end is on fire, right? Whenever whoever it is, wife, parents,
Mhm.
when the courts are looking at you and you got court, and if you mess up again, I'll put you in jail. See, that's enough to stop me right there. I don't like jail. Some people can go there for long periods of time, but it was consequence reduction. I would straighten up, and then I told y'all earlier on the show, right? Once I'm better, I'm not medicating, I'm celebrating. What are you doing? What's your plan, Matt, to maintain it long term? Do you plan on staying sober, clean, long term the rest of your life?
Right now that's the plan. I start treatment on Monday for 27 weeks, outpatient. So that'll be a big change for me. And also just kind of seeing all the people I've affected kind of makes me want to stay sober, especially my girlfriend that affected her. Just going to jail kind of made everything a little bit more like eye-opening to me. I didn't know I was affecting everybody when I was drinking.
The old ripple effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been it's been pretty hard, especially yesterday, trying to keep sober. I stayed home last night and didn't drink at all, but yeah, the goal is just to stay as sober as long as I can. I have a feeling I come from a lot of alcoholism and my mom's side of the family and stuff, and I have a feeling I might relapse someday, but I'm trying to keep away from that. Especially
You said a couple interesting things right there, Matt. And welcome to the James Sweezy Show. I seem to be doing all the talking.
Yeah,
tonight,
yeah. I'm listening. I'm reading hate mail.
Sorry,
man.
So I'm okay to
I'm
talk.
putting out. I'm trying to. There's people who get on the wall. Why do people get pissed when we're trying to get sober? We're trying to, and we're in recovery. People get so upset.
Oh yeah, is somebody mad right now?
Oh, they're always mad. There's always a few that we get them. We got my Carrie's at home, deleting and stuff, and we got 3 pages we were live. But I'm sorry, James. I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead and finish up.
Welcome back to the James Sweezy Show.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be. This show sucks.
Your
show sucks, dude.
I seem to be doing a lot of talking tonight, which is okay. That's what I do for a living.
Sorry,
No, you're good. So tell me, Matt, you were saying something interesting. You said, especially yesterday, right? And I get that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but and then you said also you think that you might relapse, right? What was so particular about yesterday? And this is kind of a rhetorical question, but what was so particular about yesterday that it was really hard to stay sober?
Well, I'm only 23, and just like as many as all my friends went out yesterday, and everybody was texting me, calling me, trying to get me to come out. And the hard part is just saying no, especially to my best friend that wanted me to go out and get drunk with him and stuff, and just kind of go run shit around town. And it's really hard, especially with yesterday being New Year's. It's the new year, and I don't know. It just is the party day yesterday. So
I want to say something. I remember being at a party when I was 25 years old, and a doctor came up to me, a very, very attractive lady. She's probably 30 at the time, and I was in my 20s. And she said, "You need to stop drinking." And I said, "I'm not driving." She said, "No, you need to stop drinking forever. you completely." And I can't imagine being 23 and thinking I'm done drinking forever. Is that hard? Is that
that's
hard?
A tough one,
Matt? Do you think about that, or you think, "Oh, come on"? I mean, you're still probably thinking that you could do it in moderation and whatnot. Is that safe to say, or you think that you're going to quit forever?
To be honest, I think I'll quit forever because just I was 300 pounds a couple years ago, and I lost all the weight, and then I started gaining it back, and just kind of started making my life into, instead of eating all the time, I was drinking all the time, and
Yeah.
just coming back from that, it just, I don't know. I just feel like I'll stay sober. It's just, especially with the support system I have right now, especially with my parents and my girlfriend, they're all going to the parent and spouse meetings already before I even started treatment to figure out how to help me and stuff. And it's kind of crazy, but I believe I'll probably stay sober for the rest.
Baca, are you and your girl? Are you married? Or are you? Is your girlfriend?
She's my girlfriend, yeah.
Last month you were doing cocaine and drinking, and you're trying to have a kid.
Yeah, it's been like that for a little while now.
There's nothing like starting IOP and parenthood at the same time.
Yeah, dude. Can I?
I know it's a bad idea.
Are you trying to keep this girl? It's hard to be a parent when you're going.
Sounds good. If you're partying and tearing your life down and getting in trouble, it sounds wholesome, right? Like get married, have a kid, start a family, get the house with the white picket fence. I can kind of picture that.
Well, I'm gonna
I
talk
can
to
see
me.
it.
Like you said, you're not talking to me. Talk to me. It's hard to be a father with a hangover. I did it for years. I remember being drunk, and my 4-year-old said, "I gotta go to the doctor, Daddy." When you had a 4-year, because she had an earache really, really bad, and I had to sober up. And I'm just saying, man, get your crap together first before starting. Take care of yourself before you have to. Unless you think the kid's going to make you kind of calm down and settle down. I just know a lot of people in their 20s who can't take care of themselves, and they have kids, and the parents end up taking care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's just I would
Pump your brakes a little bit.
Yeah, pump your brakes a little bit. Was that a dick move? What I just did?
No.
Okay.
No, that
you're
was
good.
sound advice from someone with experience. I don't think Tom was barking at you right
No,
there.
I'm
No,
looking like, don't
no.
make the mistakes I did. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I need to kind of pump brakes a little bit, but I think a part of me feels like it would keep me sober having a kid,
Oh, no.
especially.
No, it's gonna make you want to drink more.
No, sir.
You're gonna resent the kid.
No,
Then
sir.
you're gonna run off and hide like my dad did, who was an alcoholic. I don't.
You got to understand an outside force cannot keep you sober. My mother's tears, my father's begging, my parents kicking me out of the house and saying, "We're done. We're not giving you any more money. You can go live under a bridge for." We're done. Friends losing everything. My house, my construction company, all of it gone. And I walked straight over and picked up again. I would take any 99 cents I could find and go get me another Bud Ice and pour it down. No outside influence is going to force you to make good decisions.
Bud Ice sounds good right now.
It does.
Yeah,
I don't want to ever get confused about
99 cents? That's pretty good.
It does. Well, I don't want to ever get confused about the fact that I enjoy the effects produced by drugs and alcohol. I enjoy it. I freaking loved it. The people that say, "Oh, my worst day sober is better than my best day high." Well, you wasn't getting high right.
You weren't doing it right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Some of you weren't doing what
You're
I was doing.
An amateur.
Right.
No, yeah, I'd love to go 3 or 4. But I'm just saying, man, you quit trying to have a kid and just try to get healthy. Take care of yourself.
But, there is good news, too, Matt. I have a friend of mine. You should have her on the show, Meredith.
She sounds hot.
Meredith's very pretty. But Meredith got sober at 19 years old. She's got 4 years sober right now, never had a legal drink. And then I used to work for a doctor that has 25 years sober, whatever, but he had never had a legal drink. So you can do it. is what I'm getting at.
When you say legal drink, he never had a drink when he was
Above-
21.
of age, right?
Above
Past
age. I got
21,
you,
so they only drank as
Matt's barely above. How long you been drinking and drugging, Matt? How many years? When did you start?
Well, I really started heavily drinking when I was 19. We were always on the road doing different. I was basically a carny. We were doing tents and inflatables and stuff, and it was basically a carny. So we were drinking and stuff every day, and just going state to state. And I feel like I really started drinking when I was 19. Me and my buddies were probably drinking a 24 pack every day. So.
You know, my buddy Warren Honecker's in the comments. He said, Matt, you need to stand on the brakes. He said, don't pump them. Stand on
I'm
them.
saying I need to jump out of the car because this car is running toward a brick wall. Oh, dude. But, again, now what does your girlfriend do?
She's to be honest, she's a drug and alcohol counselor.
Oh, your wife's a drug and alcohol counselor, and y'all are gonna have a kid together, and you were going hard on drugs. I'm not saying I'm sure you have a wonderful wife or girlfriend, wife, but you are setting yourself up, my friend, to get reamed by your child and your wife for the rest of your damn life.
Well, I bought non-alcoholic beer the other night for the first time just to see if that would cut the cravings down a little bit, and she saw me take one drink of it, and she went upstairs and dumped all of them out in front of me.
You know what we call non-alcoholic beer around here, right? That's called mental masturbation, is what that is, where you wish you could get drunk, and I'm going to sit here and pretend like it until I'm like, well, this doesn't work, and then you go up the street and buy a real one. That's how that works for me.
Yes. Mental masturbation.
That's what that is.
I'm going to have to write that down because that's honestly how it felt. Like it just took the cravings away for a minute, and then next minute I wanted to buy.
No. It didn't take a craving away for a minute. What it did was it helped you subside a mental obsession where you're constantly obsessing over drinking, right? In my opinion. I'm just telling you my experience. I shouldn't have told you what it did to you. That's what it did to me.
No,
it
that's
away
actually
the
what it
obsession.
did to me.
Right. A craving, Matt, you understand, is when your hands are shaking. You ever seen somebody do that? Craving where I can't function unless I put this alcohol or whatever the substance is in my body, and their hand, that is a craving. I think if you're saying you're a month sober, your cravings are long over, and now you're dealing with the mental part, which I would highly recommend a 12-step recovery program for you, a sponsor.
Yes,
if you're going to your IOP, you'll meet some people, get out to some Zoom meetings online,
and
or
if you
something like that.
You own a facility, I mean, you probably there has to be places there in your neck of the woods. He sounds like he would probably benefit from going somewhere where you live in South Dakota. There's probably some fine facilities up there. Your girlfriend could probably. I mean, have you considered going into a treatment facility?
Yeah. I started outpatient on Monday for 27 weeks. So
my buddy tried it. It didn't work. He had to go inpatient.
Yeah.
Some people, yeah. Well,
just hard to, especially with the job and stuff, and
we'll get it.
Didn't want to lose, especially getting the DUI. Just telling my boss that I got a DUI, that was like the scariest part. Telling him and and him debating if he was going to fire me or not. And I work on trucks and stuff, do accessories, and he looked at me dead in the face and he's like, "I'm not firing you, but you just ain't, you're not going to be able to drive a vehicle ever again here." So,
wow.
Well, that's here it is. Consequences showing up already. But you got a real shot, man.
I'm just glad you don't deliver pizzas. Can you imagine that?
I know if I was delivering pizzas,
have to take an Uber to deliver your pizzas.
If we had Uber up here, it's Lyft, but we'd be delivering it. But
well, man, I really hope things work out for you. So you start your 28, how many weeks? 28 weeks of IOP. That's inpatient, outpatient. Is what IOP?
Intensive outpatient.
Intensive outpatient, and yeah, man, just like pump the brakes, stand on the brakes. Just don't be trying to take care of this one issue right now. That's my 2 cents.
I'm pretty scared right now, especially going to court, even though I have a really good defense attorney. I'm still freaking out every night. I'd be lying if I said it was easy trying to stay sober. It's probably one of the hardest things, especially I heard you guys say like walking into a restaurant or a bar, and it's different. But whenever I walk inside a restaurant or a bar, it's like the first thing on my mind is getting a beer with dinner or something. And
Yeah, you're brand new though. That's expected. Right.
Brian Pinkelman says, I live in South Dakota. There are some great facilities here.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Plus,
but
you
you're
have
going
Tom's
to
email, man. If you ever have a question or whatever,
Yeah.
you have Tom's email. You can fire a question off. But I'm going to highly recommend, a 12-step recovery fellowship, a brotherhood, a family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
you have sober men in your life that know how to do it. And you got a real shot. It sounds like you're headed in the right direction now.
Except the whole getting your girlfriend pregnant.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I know.
she sounds like she's got it together, though.
Yeah, she
I
sounds
can't
hot.
say I blame him.
I'm sorry. It's just, I'm laughing at me, man, because I was like okay, I just got a DUI and I'm drunk and let's have a baby.
Yeah.
That's a Tommy Mabe move right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. What we're trying to say is we relate to you very closely.
Yes.
But you're 23,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we're watching you say the same stuff we said at 23.
Oh,
we're just trying to
dude.
give you.
I could tell you what I was wearing when I was trying to convince a girl to have a baby when I was in my 20s.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
God.
surprised when I got arrested. She didn't leave. She was about to walk out on the relationship when I got busted, but she stayed. She's the better in me. She loves that I'm sober, and she says I'm a totally different person. Even my family says it. And it's just, it's weird. It's weird feeling what I do, but I actually have a question for you guys.
Sure.
When you got sober, did your body ache?
Yeah, but I'm 44.
Whoa.
Mine does that
Yeah.
today. I'm 8 years sober.
And I'm not quite as old as he is, but my body ached a little bit. No, it does. Your body goes through changes, but then all of a sudden you start, your joints start, your knees aren't as hurting as bad. The stairs aren't bothering you. I was having some serious issues, but your whole life is just going to get better when you cut out the booze and the drugs.
And I do have a question back, though. Whenever you say your body aches, give me an example. Are you tired and are you tired and being lazy like every other 23-year-old that don't want to go to work and you're calling that sore, or is there an actual, can you describe it?
It's like, all right, so I work 40 hours a week. I don't miss work or anything. I'm trying to keep that going, just trying to keep on the right path. But it's like my body aches when you get the flu and you get the body aches.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that.
Have you been tested for the COVID?
Oh yeah. I had to get tested after I went to jail and stuff. before I went back to-
I don't know, Matt, if you've been watching since the beginning of the show, but Tom and I were sitting here talking about how Tom told me earlier, said, dude, I've been funky for a couple of days. I just haven't felt right. I get the same way. That is a sign of, I'm not going to call you alcoholic. You've described yourself as one, but that is the sign of alcoholism. Restless, irritable, discontent, right? Sometimes we just feel funky. And then I know when I work, 40, 50 hours a week, I'm constantly going. You have a hard job. You're used to covering the soreness, the pain that normal people feel. You cover it up with alcohol, throw some cocaine on it. You're feeling no pain for however long you've been using. Now, you're a normal guy. You get to feel the pain of
mentally and physically with
Right.
alcohol. If I was I tell you what, I wake up in a funk. I have a couple beers. I'm like, all right, some dopamines or there,
get the dopamine jacked up, get feeling good.
Yeah. I tell you what works too is working out. God,
It does.
I'm
Working
so
out
excited.
spikes dopamine. Exercise spikes dopamine.
I ran 29 miles this morning.
You did 29 miles.
Yes, I never left the living room. It was great. Matt, boy, I'm happy that I hope this DUI is like your last rock bottom. I really do.
Yeah, I'm at rock bottom. I don't I plan on coming up from it, never going back down.
I've been rock bottom with a rock on my chest many a times.
I got a question, Matt. Who's your
what's up?
do you listen to music?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of country and
Who's your favorite country
He
artist?
sounds like a Luke Bryan guy.
Oh no, not Luke Bryan.
Georgia Florida
Um,
line.
No,
Who's your
it-
favorite country artist?
probably Luke Combs.
Luke
Yeah,
Combs.
he's good. I like
So
him.
if he's your favorite, can you name his albums? Do you know the words to his songs, things like that, like all of them? Or
What's your
No,
favorite?
no.
What do you have a favorite Luke Combs song?
I'd have to look it up.
that's all right.
But
But do you know the words to the song? Do you follow
When it comes on the radio, can you sing along?
yeah,
Yeah, see, a lot of people can do that. They know the lyrics to every Luke Combs song. They can tell you what album this song's on. Maybe Matt's not there yet, but you say you love music, you listen to it, right? And you can probably recite the lyrics to some of your favorite artists, 10 songs right now. A lot of people can do that, and they won't take the time to sit down and learn 12 sentences on a piece of paper, a 12-step recovery program that can save their life. So put the same effort that you do into loving your music as you do into loving your life and working those 12 steps, and you'll be okay. You're on your way.
And it's just not for years. I just read the steps. I never like you.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I did.
Me too.
Okay, okay, I read them. Okay, I'm powerless. Okay, I got that one done. Step one's out of the way. You know. So yeah, it's
Yeah, you don't read or work steps. You live them.
but you
there's a
have to
big
have
difference.
someone help on you. You need
You need a sponsor. You need a guide.
For years, you know how many big books I've bought over the years.
Oh yeah, and free ones that people hand me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
yeah. I need to get a 12-step book, especially.
12 steps and 12 traditions. That puts it. My co-host, my regular co-host, he bought me that. That's Jeff Graham. That's a good book.
It is.
It kind of makes it like everyday talk.
Yeah, it's just another. It's as kind of like there's a also too as Bill sees it.
Yeah.
Things of that nature. So,
Mhm.
well, I wish you well, man. I wish I could at least talk like him at 23 years old. At 20,
Yeah.
you couldn't
No.
get a sentence out of me like I'm quitting forever. No, 23 years old, I wouldn't even talk like that.
No,
so,
I'm popping one while I'll be popping when I was on the phone.
Yeah.
Bless your heart, brother. Hey, good luck to you, and email me and check in. And I would kind of just while you're quitting drink, I wouldn't make any kind of major decisions for a year at least, right?
Right. Yep.
Just don't,
Okay.
marriage, kids, or whatever. Wait till wait till your sober brain kicks in, because what you feel today may not be what you feel in 4 months.
That's right.
Right. I need to tap the brakes a little bit, and I need to especially tell her, but we'll see how that goes. And,
Yeah. All right,
You know,
brother.
wo-
Well, good hearing your
women-
voice. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
women can be crazy, so we'll see how that goes.
I live with 3 women, so I live with 3
Oh.
females. But you got Tom's email, man. If you have a
Yes.
question, like reach out and say, "What does this mean?" or whatever. Shoot an email out.
Yeah, and I
call the
talk to
show or
James
something.
4 or 5 times a day. I'm only 5 months sober, so I'm only like 4 months. I'll be 6 months on the 18th. I'm only just a little bit ahead of you, so a 4.5 months or so. So, but
Well, it's important to note that it says in that book, we have a daily reprieve contingent upon the maintenance of our spiritual condition. By that, what I'm saying is that Matt, Tom, and myself, we've all been sober the same amount of time. That's since we got out of bed this morning. And if we don't use or get or drink, we get to try again tomorrow.
I like
that's
that. Yeah.
Right?
I just wanted to say thank you guys for having me on and stuff. And Tom, I love your videos and stuff on Facebook and YouTube. You've been kind of my idol since I've been growing up. So
You hear that, James?
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm an idol.
You are.
Matt, thank you. That is very sweet of you to say. And again, do me a favor, brother. Wait a year before making any major decisions.
I will. I'm gonna
All right,
make
buddy.
it a
Stay in. You got my email. If you have any questions, if I can't answer them, I know enough people who can. If you go to our Facebook live page here, join a lot of people are wishing you luck and stuff on here, Matt. Kat
They
Landgraf
are.
says, good luck, Matt. You can do this. Make up your mind and don't change your mind. Ask for help and get help. Join our private group. Just look for our group on our Facebook live Sober Talk Live page on Facebook. It's free. Just join it, and people are talking there 24/7. And all right, buddy, I will talk with you soon.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Good luck,
Email
Matt.
us with questions. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Dude,
What a nice guy.
what a nice guy. Like, you could not, at 23 years old, have got me to call a show about my sobriety or anything. I would cuss and run and hide somewhere and drink and keep doing the cocaine and tell you all how crazy you are.
I
I'm
remember.
optimistic
I
for him.
remember it was a anesthesiologist. She said, you need to stop drinking. I'm like, nah, I'm not driving. No, you need to, like, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
That is just crazy. And it took me years and years and years to finally do it. And I did it, and I went out, did it, went out. I mean, I've stopped so many times between there. And I do need to address, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make it the James Sweezy show there, but we get a lot of people who get drunk and get on the page and carries, and if you're a cancer to the page, I hate to say that word even, but if you're constantly a pain and telling me that look, I'm a drunk. I'm 5 months in. I'm not your Jesus. And if Tom doesn't help me and Tom just thinks about money and Tom just does this or whatever, no, that's not the case. We get tons and tons, and even Christopher Castleman says, he says, man, the bullying's got to stop. I was kind of reading some of the comments while you were talking a little bit, and guys, respect the page because we will ban you from the page forever. I mean, I want you to get help. We all need help, but I mean, you want to chime in? How would you handle that? I just don't know how to deal with the constant,
I have I have a small set of rules. So there have been people that launched all-out attacks on my page, and when I was kind to them, they messaged me the next day or later. Right. So I'm no better than them, and I go, you know what, brother, don't sweat it. Whatever. Now, if it's hate speech, racist,
repeat offenders.
Repeat offenders, yes, but hate speech, racist, anything of that nature, or threats of violence, you gotta go and you can't come back. I don't do racist, hate speech, or anything of that nature. Yeah. So they gotta go. But if it's somebody just giving me a little back and forth, I'll throw it back at them and then say, look, I'll save you a seat.
I'll save you. Yeah, and some of these guys, I just want them to get help. I mean, I've been doing this show. This is episode 75. And I love our community here, but some of, and we got people really, really trying, but some of them it's just a constant. I see no concerted effort on their end to get sober. It's hard. I want to be sensitive. I want to be compassionate, but after a while, and then after blaming me, for blaming me for their, oh, geez, but anywho.
I get attacked on my page. I've got my little page, with.
What is your page?
It's James Sweezy Live. Just like Sober Talk Live, but it's James Sweezy Live, and it's jamessweezylive.com. But I've got my little page, and I own I work and own a treatment facility. So I get attacked all the time, and I don't know. A couple years ago, I was like, you know what? Let them attack, whatever. The ones that mind don't matter, and the ones that matter don't mind.
That's right. And this is Cat Landro says, Tom, we know you are sincere and your motives are good. We love your heart.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
save them a seat. They say in the recovery rooms, they say, but for the grace of God, there go I. I don't know about you, but I've been the one belligerent cussing anyone from friends, families, a party at college or something where they had to wake me, or when I came to, I never woke up. When I came to the next day, they were telling me how I was treating my girl or this and that, whatever. So I try to give them a pass when you're able, but then enough is enough.
And no one's banned forever. I mean, if you. I just want to see something. It's called tough love.
Yeah.
I got a guy here I banned for, I need 5 days of you not drink before I take your call again.
Yeah, definitely. And, also you want it to be a safe place in the comments, because if some people come in there and they're really serious, like I need some help, then they get attacked or see all this, they might go away and not talk to us thinking we're not serious. So yeah. So maybe just repeat offenders got to go.
And real. I got to do this. I'm sorry. I have to do a little commercial. These guys are making it possible for me to come live tonight. This is KYSBestHemp.com, KYSBestHemp.com. And if you go there, if you do buy CBD, please check these guys out. If you go there, upon checkout, use promo code TOM30 and get 30% off. KYSBestHemp.com. And that's TOM30. Tomorrow, and I was wondering if you're going to be over at REC.
Yeah.
Are you swamped?
No,
it's coming in Monday. I'm turning around the holidays.
Yeah.
And
I'll be over at REC.
And I'm gonna bigger staff is coming on, and he's driving in from Spartanburg, and he heard about brag about your facility. I want to take him over down the street.
Oh, you want to bring him out Monday?
Yeah.
Come on out.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Absolutely.
We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
And we're still on, but
is actually the cool part where people are hanging out and, you know.
Yeah.
I love the behind the scenes view.
What is Robert?
I had my Gatorade all willy nilly on the table while you were doing your ad. That nice orange cat. That was pretty good, man. Brian Kendrick's messenger.
And there we got there. Check it out. I got your website up on the TV.
Oh, nice. Is the live feed down or no?
No.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Well, that worked out. Hey, well, I'll wait till you take it down and there's.
Yeah. Give me a second.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. And I'm going to try to end the show here. Let's see. It's always there we go, in live feed.